Alright guys, I'm going to unwrap my monitors finally. So while you guys are working on your low polys and unwrapping stuff, I'm just going to go through and do this guy, and if you guys have any questions, let me know. Then we will get to bacon. Should be good.
Cookies?
Yeah, you know it. Yeah, everybody loves cookies. Cool. Well, I'm going to do this the same way I start all my shit. Just going to do it bit by bit. It's nice having stuff in like multiple objects, because then you kind of have like a task list for yourself. Makes it a little bit more manageable than having just this one merged mesh, because that shit gets overwhelming. What are you doing, Max? Tried to put a modifier on there, now it's spinning.
I see people doing full characters as all one mesh and just looking at them. Why would you do that?
Yeah, like it's good for like the muscle structure-y stuff, right? But I mean, if you're gonna have clothes on there, like you got to do all that stuff with separate bits, right?
Yeah, they did all the armor and everything. This is one mesh.
Yeah, no, it's too much, right?
Sometimes I'll, the reason why I do it is just because when I rig it, sometimes I'll see the separation like
Yeah, so the problem when you're doing characters and you're going to do multiple meshes or anything that moves, your verts have to be aligned, right? Like your jacket and your belts that goes across the jacket, all those verts have to be pretty well aligned, or you have separate bones for everything, right? Then that's fine too, right? Then it doesn't matter. And most modern games will do that, right? They'll rig their like straps and other things separately, so then when you walk around, they all kind of lay and they can move around and do their own separate things without having to worry about clothing. And that stuff looks the best because like a lot of times people will do like big collars and then they have to rig the collars up to like head bones so that when the head moves you kind of try and do that, and it's too messy, right? If you can afford to put the bones in collars and all those things, then you can animate them separately, like folding and moving out of the way and stuff. That looks way better. Alright, let's flat map this bad boy. Unwrapping on one screen sucks. It's so much easier when you have two screens and you just have your model off to the side and then have a nice full screen for this. But do what you can do. Let's see what Max gave me here. We got this guy here as the center. This thing is the base, so
what am I? Hard to tell we got highlighted in red.
Yeah, I know, it's true, eh? Yeah, that's not a good color. Yeah, I made it red. I don't know even why, just so you could like see it through the low poly, but yeah, red is not a good color for for unwrapping. Let's do blazing blue. Yeah, cool. You know what, this kind of guy, I want it to be nice and smooth. You can use the projection mapping on this guy and just do a full flat down map on him.
Relax.
Yeah, you do a relax, or you could like manually do it and see how well the relax does. Usually the relax can, yeah, usually it'll do a pretty good job. Go, go, go. Yeah, did a pretty nice job. Got my edges. Nice, done. You know, unwrapping has gotten a little easier over the years. They have some pretty good tools these days. It still sucks. Actually, well, it's not true. As shitty as unwrapping is, sometimes I do enjoy it. Sometimes you just kind of zone out and put on some music and just unwrap the shit out of stuff.
I'm so glad he showed the projection of the world space coordinates for the line splines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Trying to unwrap splines is the worst. I mean, pelt mapping and stuff does a better job than it used to, but it still sucks, right?
Yeah.
Beautiful, look how round these are. Oh, Max. Whoa. Oh, you know what it's doing to this one? Probably has the bottom. Yeah, I don't need the bottoms for these. Oh my god, there's a Bertata.
oh my god.
I haven't opened it.
Yeah, I haven't even opened it.
I haven't opened it in days.
Oh yeah?
Too busy.
Yeah. I hatched a Pidgey this morning. That was pretty great.
Oh yeah, I love when you had piggies.
I hatched a Weedle earlier in the week. It was really disappointing. Actually, I hatched two 10K eggs this week, and they were both EVs. I was really pissed.
Why would you be pissed? That's awesome.
I have 5 Flareons, 2 Vaporeons, and 2 Jolteons. I am EV'd out.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, fair enough. There's a lot of EVs around my work and house and stuff. So, I'm good. I did catch a, what was he called? Oh my god, I can't remember his name.
Dragonair.
Yeah, I caught that too. But
Yeah.
later that night, I also
this is
caught.
like what, by 2 minutes?
You did, yeah. Later that night, I caught a Poliwrath, and he was level 1500. So that was pretty sweet. Okay, so I did like a flat map on these little guys. It's kind of stretched and stuff, but I want these guys to be pretty seamless, so I think I'm going to leave it as is. I definitely don't need the bottoms for these things. I don't know if you guys saw this in my tutorial, but the nice thing about going from, like, if you find faces that you don't want, if you select them in the unwrap modifier and just convert this to an editable poly, switch to face, it'll select whatever you had selected in there. So then you just delete. It's not really anything that big, but it's nice. I should have unwrapped these little feats before I actually placed them. Sometimes you gotta think that through, right? Sometimes you're like modeling stuff. Sometimes you gotta take a break and just quickly unwrap something, just if you know you're actually gonna be repeating it everywhere.
So you just copy the modifier then?
Sometimes if you've copied, yeah, if it's just like one and you've moved around everywhere, if you've attached them, you're kind of screwed. But if it's one, you could copy the modifier a lot. Sometimes it does this thing where you'll copy and paste a modifier, you'll open the unwrap, and it'll look perfect, but it'll take various verts and just align them to make that shape.
Yeah.
But in the if you look at it, the UVs will be messed.
Yeah, I
Right.
noticed that on one of mine. I tried doing that.
You're like, oh wow, that did a nice job. Nope. It just like randomly picks verts because Max is all about vert numbering.
Yeah.
When you make a mesh, it numbers all the verts, and the second you move one of those verts, and that happens when you attach stuff, then it's just you're toast. You're toast. Relax. Whoop. And off to the side you go. And you get deleted. Oh, goodbye. What I like to do is I like to isolate all my low poly shit, and then as I finish unwrapping stuff, I just hide it.
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah,
doing.
dude, it feels nice. It actually feels like you're getting some work done. I don't know, it just feels like you're making progress, which is nice. Cool. Alright, so let's take a look at what kind of unwrap we got here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Terrible. So let's try and squish this. Yeah, I like the auto unwraps that splines give you, but they're not proportionate.
Yeah,
Right? Like this is what I got
but they're straight.
by default, but they're straight, which I'd rather mess around with rescaling them than ever unwrapping them.
Because yeah, like I had my character, I had defines going off of them when I used splines.
Oh
to do
yeah,
it. And
it's a little
I
easier.
freaking unwrapped them by hand.
Oh, such pain.
Oh yeah.
Cool. And then what I like to do, if you have like a bunch of these guys, you can just scale things in Max as well, or in the unwrap editor. So I use this freeform tool, which will allow me to grab corners, and then you could just scale them to here. Like you could scale them to an end, which is really nice. And then I could just take these end verts and then move them here. And kind of get something nice. Sometimes, I don't know if I went over it in any of my tutorials, I don't think I did, but when you unwrap a spline, or it gives you an unwrap, it's going to pick a seam in a random ass place. Like these ones, luckily put it kind of like behind, away from the point of view of the character. But sometimes you'll get a seam like right down the front, and you don't want to leave that. If you have a good place to put a seam, you know, don't leave it out there. The easiest way to reseam one of these meshes, if you want to do that, let's take a look here. Let's just turn this checker pattern. So we have a seam right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, just select my faces, and I'm going to select let's say I'm going to start selecting them from one of the edges here and just start selecting them in until this ends at a place where I'd want a seam. So let's say that's a pretty good place right there. I'm going to hit the Tools, Detach Edge Verts. That way I can move that out. And then I'm going to just double click on this one end here and Stitch Selected. And that way I've recreated my seam closer to where I actually want it. It's nice. I mean, you gotta pick your seams, right? And that's the nice thing about cylinders is it's pretty easy to readjust them as long as they're straight. When you are making a spline, let me see if I could just do that quickly. Done. And hide. All right, let's make a new spline here. Boop. I believe they do have an option in here. If you generate mapping coordinates, you should be able to see where your seam is. I don't know why I made such a long spline. Hold on, let me redo this so it's a little bit more manageable. Alright. So if I throw an unwrap modifier in this guy, we'll see where my seam is. It's right there. What I could always do is go back to that, and there is an angle here. You can see you can rotate your mesh. So as long as you know where your seam is, unfortunately it won't show. You'll have to kind of go back here. You can go back and then just rotate. Oh god, that's a dangerous one. Rotate your mesh till you get a seam where you want it. So you're like, oh cool, I want it on the bottom. I'm done. And you can do that after it's been like modeled and stuff too, as long as you haven't converted to an editable poly. You can just kind of rotate it around so you get the seam where you want it. So it's a nice thing to think ahead about, because trying to fix seams later, I mean, it's not that bad. I've really lucked out. Look at all these seams, all like right in the back here. I did not plan that at all. Cool.
Lucky.
Yeah, I know, serious. Yeah, I do have some polygons left in there. Fuck you, flat jerk. Yeah, these guys are okay. Sometimes with pipes and things like that, like these guys are clearly inside here. I mean, if I really wanted to go optimize, I could delete all these faces, right? Because you'll never see them. And I could probably even hit grow and delete all those guys. Maybe not these guys in the bottom here. Really, I mean, it's like this guy's pretty high poly in the corner here, so I probably would delete these. But it's up to you, right? I mean, if your mesh is within an okay poly count, you could always just leave that. But it's kind of up to you. But always look at stuff that's buried. All right, let's unwrap this. Whoop. All right. Oh, good. I need to show something. All right, so so I've kind of generally scaled all three of these pipes together, but obviously I've moved them around since then, so they don't. They're going to have to get scaled separately. So I'm just going to move these guys off to the side so I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's just kind of focus pipe by pipe here. All right, so let's start off with the center bit here. Get that going there. And then alright. I'm going to leave that one until later. Alright, these guys look pretty good. So sometimes a problem with pipes and tubes and just general splines. Whenever you do a bend, you're never going to be able to get all your UVs perfect squares because they're going to pinch on one side and stretch on the other side. Typically, focus on the stuff that's facing the camera. If you can adjust, you know, make the squares that are up front facing the player as square as they can be, and then leave the rest to be a little bit smushed. That's your best bet. If it's a pipe you're going to see from the side, kind of try and average between the two. Have one side be a little stretched, one side be a little smushed, but try and manage that as best as you can. Again, that's kind of part of your job, is just kind of deciding what you can do. Now, I have this fun little situation here. You'll see is I have these squares that I've nicely left unwrapped from my spline, but since then I've extruded this pipe in edible poly, and I've left this giant-ass streak on the bottom here. The nice thing about that is I can go into my viewport, select all these verts down here, make sure I have back face call off, or whatever this is called, ignore back facing. The cool thing is, even though it's completely flat, right, if I select all these faces, they're all completely flat in here, they're still unwrapped straight, which is very important, right? So if I can take all these verts down here, I can just move them up, right? And so they're still attached where I need them to be attached. The seam is where it needs to be. They're just flattened. So as long as you don't freak out when you see them, you could just be like, yeah, cool. All I got to do is just move that out of the way. So I have this same situation over here. So if I selected this in the unwrap modifier, I'm going to select both of these guys. But if I select it in the viewport, I can have a choice just to select those guys, and then I can move them down. So if you see that, don't freak out, but also don't miss it, because that'll look terrible in your unwraps if you forget that's there. It's easy to miss sometimes. Alright. Bam. So I like to do, with my unwraps, I typically like to do the easy stuff first. Just get it out of the way, right? You don't want to spend too much time on like one thing early on. You want to just kind of try and make it feel like you're making some progress, right? Really quick. It's a good feeling.
Morale boost.
Yes. So here we can notice that Max is totally just did something to this. No, it didn't. Oh, my bad. I thought it totally messed it up. I forgot. I deleted some faces here just because they were like really intersecting and stuff. So this is actually okay. But it did mess up this whole area here. You see it's all like seams, and for whatever the hell reason, it threw a couple of the faces over here. Yeah, so I just got to go manually just take these guys. It stretched them too, so I just got to detach them. They crash on you?
No, it's something stupid.
Oh, it's only actually one of my meshes, so I'm going to detach that, and I can go over here. Just attach that over here, and then just clean up these bad boys. Stitch selected and other various parts of Max in the unwrap modifier will cause your Max to crash quite often, so make sure you save. And for anybody that doesn't know, Control S does not work in the unwrap editor. For some fucking reason, Max is just like, yeah, whatever, you know that shortcut you need to live your life? It's just not going to work in this one tool, so you have to go to File. Is this still called File? It's just like an icon now.
Yeah, there's still the icon at the top, the save icon right at the
Top bar.
top bar.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I don't have to go to there. I just forget about those little guys. Is that still called File? The little is that what people still call it?
Still File.
I mean, that's technically what it is.
It's the Max button. Yeah.
But it's stupid, right? Because before it used to be File in every piece of software. Now it's like, oh, click the Photoshop icon, click the Max icon.
Everyone wants to be special.
Yeah, they do. They're not. So I have this fun little situation here where I have an obvious seam right along here, and if I click one of the edges and I hit Stitch Selected, it decides just to fuck off over to the side here and stitch those guys together for some reason. Sometimes Max will just do that. It will just decide that, hey, this is not right. I think mainly because this one vert is already stitched and these guys are not. Right? I have these dudes are all still separate. And sometimes when you do an edge, it just does not enjoy that part of it. So you do a couple things. You can try selecting one of these side bits and stitching them, and usually that'll work okay. The other option you have, as long as you know all these verts do belong together, you can go into your vert mode, select all those verts, and go to Tool and Weld Selected, and it'll just smush all those verts together. That being said, just so you guys are aware, for some friggin' reason, in the UV editor, you can weld verts that do not belong together. You can weld this vert and like some other vert, and they will stay attached in the unwrap modifier, even though they are not the same vert. Like typically, you should only be able to weld verts that are right on top of each other.
Yeah.
But no, it doesn't give a shit. It's just like whatever. They're close enough, even though they don't exist in the real world. Yeah, why not? And if you get into that trouble, then you'll have to just flat map some elements of your mesh again, and you know, pray to the 3D gods that everything went well. What do you think the 3D god looks like? Do you think he's a teapot? I think he's a teapot. I wonder what the first thing anybody ever modeled in 3D was. Bless you. I wonder what the first thing anybody ever modeled in that 3D program was.
I think
It was the teapot? Is that why? Oh, is it? Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it's definitely that's the god. Teapot god. I will pour my hot juices on you. Oh wait, that's weird.
Oh, God.
Let's not go there.
Freezing.
Hey, I didn't make the rules, alright? It's Teapot God. Don't question him. You accept his warm juices. Hot scalding tea of wisdom. Alright, so let's smush those over there, and these stupid meshes are done. Whoop. Alright, let's do. Well, I guess those are kind of low poly, I guess. I got some extra edges in here that probably I don't need.
Let's get some tries there.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I will show you the worst way to ever connect all your edges. I don't know how this happened, but they're all just every other one is connected to that. I mean, technically it's fine, but it's a really stupid way to try and connect verts.
I did do that.
I don't know. I must have there must have been another shape in there that I did like a loop and remove or something, and it did not like that. All right, connect. Connect. Alright. I got like a 5-sided shape in there, but I don't really care. Is that 5?
No.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. Yeah.
We
Whatever.
just split down the middle.
I don't care. It's fine. Let's see if are these guys still aligned? Let's do local. Sometimes when you fix up some mesh, sometimes it's just easier to resymmetry it, move it out of the way. Hopefully that's more or less on top of my high poly. If it's not, I can always fix that later. Sometimes you find some leftover geometry that you've left, and you gotta clean up. This mesh is kind of fugly. This is one of my. But things can be fugly. Yeah.
Ugly.
Yeah, I like Pugly. Pugly's pretty good. Pugs are hilarious creatures. The Teapot God would not approve of them. They barely feel like they should be alive. Alright. You know what? Let me undo this. Actually, no. You know, I should have unwrapped this thing before I symmetried it. So let me just do that. I'm just going to delete this. I'm going to detach it, actually. I'm going to detach it so I can leave it there as a reference, and I'm going to unwrap this guy. Pew, pew, pew. Bam. Alright, well that did not do what I wanted projection-wise, so let's try best align. Bam. Aligned. Relax. Relax, 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 relax. Alright. That's pretty good. I'm just going to trust that was okay. I didn't even look at this, the unwrap. Alright, so I left that other guy that I detached there just as reference, so I can just move this there. Hide, select, delete. Alright, I'm getting low on easy things to unwrap. That's sad. Alright, let's take a look at this. Let's see what we got here. Alright, what do we got? Let's shrink you guys down a little. And then yeah, that's pretty good. And that's pretty good. Yeah, more or less. That's fine. Ooh, look at these bad boys. Silly little meshes. Let's just delete these backs right off the bat. Maybe even scooch them in here. Oh, I don't even need all that, do I? Just do grow, select all that, and delete. And maybe I'll just smush these back a little bit. You know what? I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna do the same thing here. It's, where are you? Detach. Oops. Okay, undid that detach. Okay. All right. Unwrap. Open. Select all. Last map. Best line. Yeah, unwrapping is definitely like a robot task. You just kind of get into this flow, and then
You need to make an unwrapping game.
yeah, no, they seriously do. I would totally, if you could somehow put unwrapping online, and then you can sell that to like developers. Be like, hey, submit your meshes, and we will unwrap them free for you. And then you make an app where people download meshes, and then they have to like unwrap things, and they get good scores for unwrapping shit. And if they earn enough coins, they get like a free game or something. Bam, business model.
Just like the gamers that are unwrapping the
Oh, the molecules and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. Let's hide. Alright. What else we got left? We got this little doohickey here. Deleted. Now this guy's a little too steep to do a projection map on. So I'm probably just going to leave him pretty much as is. Just fix some proportions here. Let's see here. Alright. That's done. Let's do the same thing to this guy. Connecting some edges.
So which way would you rather recommend? Because I know you can do it that way. What I normally do is I'll like inset all the verts and then I'll collapse them together and then I'll delete every other.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it all depends. That way's fine. That way's nice if you like needed to like bevel out a little bit too, because then you have like the one vert to kind of push and pull things. You don't even have to delete every other one. It's fine leaving them as tries.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter. All depends. I've seen both ways. I mean, this way you save a vert.
Yeah.
That's it, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. Sometimes this way you get a lot of streaky lines that can bake out really weirdly. And sometimes with that one you get a lot of triangle things that can bake out weirdly.
Yeah.
So really I'll do either or, and then if one is giving me bad results for baking, then I'll go through and try the other one. But neither's a bad choice. All right, let's hide this guy and a save. So Sausage Party came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go see that. Yeah, yeah, it looks pretty funny. All right, and we're back here. Oh, I attached a shit ton of these things together. Let me just attach these little guys. Attach low dots. Really get force yourself to name your stuff. Like I didn't name any of my high poly things, but I've been naming my low poly stuff, and it's been a pretty big lifesaver. Once you get like a lot of elements and objects, not elements, but lots of objects, it's just confusing to try and sort out your list and shit, and you don't wanna be there.
Sometimes it's hard. You just look at it. It's like I have no idea what this is called.
Yeah, it's true. You guys start making up stupid names for them. Yeah, I've been there. Dotty McDotface. 1.
Low.
Yeah, low. Yeah, yeah. I usually do low underscore, whatever. That way I can sort my list by like name, and then at least all those guys are together. Even if you just name everything low dash number, it's still better than nothing.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been doing, like LP11 and like LP.
Yeah, whatever it is, as long as it's like a little prefix, then at least you can sort, right? That's really all you need. Because last thing you want to do is waste your time clicking things all the time, selecting things, hiding things, right? Yeah, group your shit as much as you can, and well, not group, but
I like to separate my things into layers.
yes, layers are quite nice.
So I got a high poly layer, low poly layer.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I should have done that. Here, offensive parents. Hey, that's fine. Hey, I'm old, alright? I'm stuck in my ways.
Old, please.
I know. Industry old. Oh,
Give us the aliens shots, will you?
never. Alright, let's, decisions. Alright. It's hard, man. Even after, like, whatever I've been doing this for like 10 years. It gets hard to keep up. There's so much changing with art. Like, if all I was doing was art, it'd probably be okay, but so when you got to try and do other stuff too, it's hard to keep up with all the new techniques and tools and all that shit.
You always better be learning.
Yeah, that's why you can't stop, right? Even when I'm doing work, like, I mean, we do a lot of indie stuff, so a lot of it's not like super high end. So you got to take a break and just model some crates or something sometime. Oh, my wires aren't here. I must have not added those, but that's okay. I can do those later. Okay, I've generally done my easy things, I guess. That's sad.
How about those monitors?
Yeah, they should be okay. They look more complicated, I think, than they are.
What's the receiving?
Yeesh. Oh, there's a beautiful default unwrap. It's done.
Oh my god. What the?
Yeah, it is just you move verts around. It decides to freak out on you. Alright, so let's just let's try and minimize my madness through this. So I don't know if you guys saw in the video that I posted, but under the unwrap modifier on the top, there's these 3 little squares. It'll let you select by element in the viewport. So if you just click that, it'll select the whole thing, and that way you can just move your stuff out of the way. And then
One of your videos that's basically glitched all hell.
what?
But there's one video you have
Oh yeah, I deleted that one. That one's gone. I replaced it, unless it's a new one.
it's the advanced low poly.
Was it the advanced low poly?
Yeah.
Was the first one, like the one I did in class, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I deleted and then I re-put up all new ones. I think I tested them all. They should be good. If you find any other broken ones, let me know. This is doing really weird unwraps. Sometimes if you're getting like really weird looking unwraps by default, you might have forgotten to reset your X forms. So just do that on your meshes once in a while. I don't know if you guys remember the little mini tutorial I showed you, but if you take a square and you scale it using the scale tool and you unwrap it, it will still flat map as a square even though you've modeled it as a rectangle. So you got to make sure you reset your X forms and then your unwraps will work a lot better. Alright, let's move you over here. Oh no, it still did a stupid job. Probably just because it's on an angle. It's fine. It's fine, Max. I'll deal
Feels
with you.
good, man.
Huh?
Feels good, man.
Yeah. Alright, you know what? You know what? It's time for a pelt map. I'm not gonna try and stitch all this shit together. Are we crazy? Bam.
Health map is best friend for the character model.
It is. It really is. Usually it works pretty well. Usually. Let's see. Oh, but not this time. Huh. Oh, I guess my stuff cursor. I looked at this. I'm like, this looks like the worst unwrap ever. It's all like wobbly and shit down here. Nah, it's perfect. Yeah, my meshes must cut in and stuff just to like conform to some of this. Yeah, I think they kind of go in here, so it didn't look that bad, and then it just looked like this was a horrific mess. Nah, it's great.
Okay.
And then attach those. Sweet.
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man.
I love this goddamn shortcut for this stitch dialogue.
It's the best, right? It like changes your unwrapping life.
T-space, T-space, T-space.
T-space, yeah. It's funny, but like a shortcut or two can completely change your view on a tool or a workflow. Bless you. Bless you. I know people that hate unwrapping, and I'm like, dude, just you gotta just become a robot. Just become methodical. Methodical, is that the right word? Oh. And then just do it. Just do it. Sorry. Nobody should ever reference Shayla Buff. Sometimes I have that playing on like a little card in the back of Max. A little animated card back there. Makes me feel good.
Oh.
You know what? Shia LaBeouf is kind of a genius for doing that though, because he was around the internet forever.
Oh.
More or less there as an experiment to see, okay, so who actually does hate me?
Yeah.
Turns out it's everyone.
Who's willing to stick with me through this?
I like it when actors go crazy.
Apparently, Rock's got a YouTube channel now.
Who?
The Rock.
Oh, The Rock. Oh, yeah?
I think he did a collab with Matt Pat from Game Theory.
Oh, nice. I love The Rock. He's a funny motherfucker. I don't even care about wrestling. He's just, I don't know, just seems like a nice guy. I wonder if he's a giant douche.
Apparently, he's really nice.
He seems like a really nice guy, right? Like from everything I heard. But you never know.
There's always that chance, right?
Yeah.
Man, I was stoked for this fucking webinar.
Yeah, they're really good. Once you sign up to them, you'll get all the emails for them. So there was this one we watched a little while ago. It was I forgot who it was now. Some guy. But it seemed like it was going to be really good, and it was the worst.
Oh yeah.
The guy was just such a terrible presenter. He was just, it was just bad. It was just not, it was not good. Yeah. I don't remember why. He just kept repeating himself, and he was just really unorganized, and
It's the worst.
I don't know. It was just not good.
It always has the and you do and,
Yeah. The worst part about it though was actually they usually have a moderator.
Yeah.
And I guess usually they're live, so you can ask questions. I guess this one, it was kind of live, but not really. Like I think the tutorial wasn't live, but then the guy was there to like answer questions.
Yeah.
But then once in a while they would cut away, and there'd be just some guy that was like running the show, and it would be him on screen talking about what the guy is about to do next.
Yeah.
Like he's like little weird.
So it's
Yeah.
kind of like a voiceover kind of.
But it wasn't the guy that was doing the tutorial.
Yeah.
It was like another guy, and he's like, "Oh, you just saw Mark do this and this. Upcoming next, we'll have this." And I'm like, "Dude, this is just a live thing. Just let me watch my fucking shit." I don't know. It's just really annoying. I don't know why. I was really annoyed at it. Sometimes you just gotta hate a little, you know.
Yep.
You know. Oh yeah, I forgot this is all one piece. Select all of this. I forgot because I think I cut all that out. And projection. Best fit. Yeah. Alright. So scales go down. Get them a little bit more like squares. And then we'll like attach.
Do you know the teacher Roberto?
Roberto. No, what does he teach?
He's such a nice guy. He's so great. I mean, it's just like he has trouble presenting. I mean, might be partly because I think he's Mexican or something.
Yeah.
But he has an accent, and I think he has trouble getting across what he's trying to say. So he uses a lot of
Yeah.
Takes him a while to get his
Yeah.
point across. So.
That's tough, eh? It's hard. Presenting ain't easy.
No.
It's a pain in the ass. Whoa. Let's turn it into a stupid looking unwrap. Sometimes you get seams. So I want to attach that there because I think that'll look. You know what? Maybe I'll attach it to the front of this thing. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe over here. Yeah, maybe over here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of as many seams along the front there as I can. It's kind of a stupid shape, but we'll leave it for now. Time to check out my Pokemon. And I got a great ball, yes. Alright. Oh, is that separate? No. Alright, what do we got next here? We got this bottom piece. Let's tuck this. Let's rotate. Sometimes I'll start with like a front object. Something that's facing the player. And just start going.
There we go, Mansion House is Mystic.
Is what now?
The Mansion House is Mystic, and I think Toy Trail is Valor.
Good. Yeah, the Toy Train one I think has pretty good
Right.
Pokemon in there, yeah.
183. 183 Weedle.
I saw that, yeah. It's good for training, you know? It's a training Weedle.
Gyarados is good, man.
Gyarados and Dragonite.
Oh, for a second I thought someone took him from the gym. Wow. A little one. Everything else is Mystic.
Yeah. Yeah, Mystic likes this town.
Majority of players.
Well, tile triangle. Let's just merge you guys over here. You're not that important. That's pretty good. Where do I want the seam? Let's see here. Oops. Use it all. I don't want no scale. Stitching everything together. This is getting to be kind of silly looking, but that's okay. Perhaps I will break that up later. We'll see. What the hell is this? Oh, it goes to that. Shit's getting weird over here. Let's find this guy. Let's move this over here. Whoa. That's really stupid looking. Alright, let's just start the other way then. What do we got? Oh, that goes all the way there. Perfect. Let's do the bottom trims here. Yeah, they'll probably do this crazy shit. I'm gonna do that and just find this over here. Oh, yeah. It's probably all this craziness. I'm just gonna detach all these faces so I can stitch them properly. Cool. And, okay, thought I did you. Oh, I missed one. Boop. And boop. Alright, let's make this a little bigger. And stitch, and stitch, and stitch, and stitch. Then 1.5. And then we flatten. And we flatten. What's this craziness? You and you. And move him over there. At least keep his proportions the same. Well, maybe I will just take this inside bit here. Because I don't want a seam right there. I'm fine with having a seam on this inside part. Do the same thing to this top area. Alright, and another. I just like to stitch all these things together, even if it looks like a freaking mess, because I know my stitching will fix this right up. Sometimes you gotta be okay with making a mess, because you know you're gonna clean it up. Just like baking or cooking, you know, you're gonna fuck up your kitchen a little. Switch over to edges here, flat and flat. And this one I'll invert, because there's some tries. And if I really want, I could flatten all these guys out too. And bam. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we have that. Let's see what else we can do here. We got this craziness going on. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. We'll see how it fits. If it needs to get broken up, we'll break it up. Alright, let's do this little side bit here. So let's get rid of these guys. Alright, now we got this guy on a crazy angle. Let's see if this works. Sweet. So fun little tool tip here for you guys. Sometimes Max will unwrap things really well, like this thing here, but it'll be on a weird angle. And so you can select this and you can try and like rotate it, but it's a pain in the butt to try and like get stuff nice and straight. If you select one of these edges, Max does have this little tool here, align to edge. It will take whatever edge you have selected, it will straighten it either on the vertical or horizontal, and it'll move your whole element to that. Doesn't always work, sometimes it really messes up, but usually it does, and it's pretty sweet. So with this box here, I want it nice and straight, so I'll select this bottom edge, click that guy, and it'll straighten it out for me. Easy peasy. Alright, and then there we go. And that thing is done. Oh shit. Alright, what do I got left here? Select this. I like to have F2 on so I can see what I'm working on. Always turn on the other checker pattern. Oh. Cool. Alright, so we got this. Let's see what we can do about this. So we got this bottom area here that looks really weird. Let's take you over here. Alright, we got you. What do you got? Oh yeah, I guess I have this little doohickey edge here. Oh, and it's got this up thing there. What's fucking happening over here? Oh, it's a little chamfered edge. I see. Well, I kept that on there. Cute. Alright, let's turn off element here. Let's see if we can weld both of these guys or stitch them both there. Alright. That did a really weird job. Should be straight. Let's try that again. Let's take all of this. Let's flat map. I'm going to increase my flat mapping. Right, well, arrows aren't working. There we go. It's a little better. What you listening to there? That was pretty sweet.
It's a dubstep version of Voodoo Valley from
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Awesome.
Ocarina of Time.
Noise. That's awesome. There we go. This did a much nicer job. Let's just take this thing down here. That's pretty awesome.
Also a sauce.
Sweet. Alright, this shenanigans is done over here. What do we got left? Oh, we got this whole front part. Oh, we got this little top bit here. You, sir, are done. Get out of here. Oh, I might be able to stitch them to something. Just to get them cleaned up a little. There we go. Waste a little bit less space, at least you don't need padding in between that area. All right, let's do this part here. Rotate it that way. Select one of these edges, and then kapooshk. And let's start stitching. That's pretty good. We get that. We probably won't be able to stitch anything else up onto that. Let's see, what is that? This is down below. I'll do that later on. Well, maybe. Yeah, no, that's fine. Alright, we got that guy. We got this underneath part. Yeah, that part's done. You fellas, you guys I can attach to this. Alright. These guys I could probably just do, oops. 0.5 on these guys. Be a little distortion-y, but that's okay. And what the hell is this? Oh shit. Where do you belong to? You belong to nothing. Are you attached to this? What is this thing? Oh, this thing's not even visible. I could probably just delete that. This guy. Ooh, and sometimes you'll get these fun little things here. Oh, I guess that's like a little sliver. Sometimes you'll start unwrapping things and you'll find out you have little slivers. And that just usually means you didn't weld your stuff together properly, like this, or you attached really weird things like that. So you could always just go through and just clean that up. Yeah, I probably don't even need that guy, but that's okay.
Faces.
You what now?
I said, oh, I got all these unwanted faces.
Yeah,
That's what I'm pretty much doing. It's just cleaning it up.
just cleaning. Yeah,
Just cleaning it up.
the struggle is real, my friend. All right, yeah, El Finito.